Available now. Link below.
In today's report, we're delving into a story that could come straight out of a Hollywood thriller, yet it's all too real for Donald Trump Jr., a man living in the shadow of his father's towering legacy. Now imagine, if you will, opening what seems to be just another piece of mail, only to find yourself staring down the barrel of a terror tactic straight out of a terrorist playbook. A white powder cascades into your world, carrying with it a death threat so vile, so cowardly, it's hard to fathom. This isn't fiction. This is the reality of what it means to be in Trump's America today. As we unpack this chilling event, we must ask ourselves, what has our republic come to? So stay with us for a report that not only sheds light on the facts, but also challenges the very core of our societal values. And don't miss my final thought, where we connect the dots in a way that matters to every American who believes in the sanctity of our republic. Now, before we jump into today's explosive report, a quick note. The situation with the white powder scare at Don Jr.'s home, it's a vivid reminder of how unexpected threats can emerge, seemingly out of nowhere, targeting what we hold dear. In much the same way, there's a hidden threat many of us carry without even realizing it. I'm talking about excess belly fat. Just like an unwanted dangerous package showing up at our doorstep, excess belly fat is linked to a host of health issues lurking silently within, exerting pressure on our most vital organs. That's why I, along with countless others, am turning to a groundbreaking new solution that's backed by science to not just manage, but actively combat this issue. It promotes reduced fat storage, speeds up the breakdown of fat, supports weight management, and even boosts metabolism. So if you're looking for real change, here's your chance to get started with a 51% discount for the rest of the month or until stocks last. Hurry over to trimwithgary.com. That's trimwithgary.com. Now, the saga at Don Jr.'s home in Jupiter, Florida unfolds like a scene from a political thriller, yet the peril it underscored was all too real. On a seemingly ordinary day, the tranquility was shattered as a hazmat team clad in protective gear swarmed the residence of Donald Trump Jr., the eldest son of the former president. The catalyst for this dramatic response? A letter laced with white powder and a menacing death threat signaling an alarming escalation in political hostilities. So today we're unpacking this incident, its implications, and the deafening silence from certain quarters. Take a look.
But first, breaking news here at the live desk tonight. A hazmat team, we've learned, reportedly responded to the home of Donald Trump Jr. in Florida after he reportedly opened a piece of mail with a mysterious white powder inside. A spokesperson for Trump says that officials believe it is not deadly, but it's still not clear at this hour tonight what exactly the substance is. The letter has also included death threats inside. The Palm Beach Sheriff's Office now investigating this, along with the Secret Service. Stay with us. We're back in 90 seconds.
Early reports indicate that the emergency units were dispatched promptly to the Trump property following discovery of the suspicious package. Inside, a sinister message paired with an unknown white substance. The content of the letter, while not disclosed in full detail, was enough to raise alarms and necessitate a full-scale emergency response. Now, first, let's take a closer look at the image showing the hazmat team inside Don Jr.'s house. The gravity of the situation palpable, with the team meticulously examining every inch of the room where the letter was found. The presence of the specialists in what is meant to be the sanctity of one's home starkly illustrates the disruptive impact of such threats. Outside, the scene was no less tense as depicted in this image, where the hazmat team can be seen preparing to enter and secure Don Jr.'s residence. Their quick and decisive action underscores the severity of the threat and the immediate risk it posed not just to Don Jr., but to anyone within the vicinity. Perhaps the most chilling is a letter accompanying the white powder. Its message, hinting at a desire to silence Donald Trump and his supporters, reflects a dangerous escalation in political rhetoric. The harsh reality that some are willing to resort to potentially lethal means to convey their opposition is a stark reminder of the extremes to which political animosity has soared. Trump Jr., in speaking to the Daily Caller, expressed a grim resignation to the threat he faces, highlighting the disparity in reactions based on political affiliation. Quote, "It just becomes a little bit too commonplace that this sort of stuff happens," he stated. Now, his remark points to the disturbing trend where instances of harassment and threats targeting conservatives often receive minimal media attention or public outcry, especially when compared to the uproar that ensues if similar threats were directed at prominent Democrats. Now, in February 2018, a similar incident occurred when Don Jr.'s then-wife Vanessa was hospitalized after opening an envelope containing a powdery substance. The arrest of Daniel Frizello, tied to sending the threatening letter, didn't seem to spell the end of such vile tactics against the Trump family. Now, this repetition of events underscores a persistent, unsettling will to intimidate and harm those with differing political views. So it's essential to recognize that the use of fear and intimidation against political rivals eroding the very foundations of respectful discourse and democracy. Regardless of one's political stance, actions that threaten the safety and well-being of individuals and their families must be universally condemned. In an era where political divisions have deepened, the incident at Don Jr.'s home is a harrowing reminder of the lengths that some are willing to go to silence opposing voices. While the substance turned out to be non-lethal this time, the psychological impact and intention behind such an act cannot be dismissed lightly. And the silence from the left and the media in response to this act of intimidation speaks volumes. It underscores a troubling double standard that threatens to normalize violence and threats as acceptable tools of political disagreement. This cannot become our new normal. And throughout all this, the Trump family remains undeterred, standing strong against attempts to intimidate them. The resilience they exhibit in the face of ongoing threats is emblematic of a broader struggle for the right to express political beliefs without the fear of retribution. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. The chilling episode at Don Jr.'s home is more than a mere incident. It's a stark wake-up call. In our republic, political disagreements have always been a norm. But the descent into threats and political violence marks a dangerous deviation from the principles of civil discourse that we hold dear. This isn't just about one family's ordeal. It's a reflection of the alarming polarization that's gripping our nation. If left unchecked, where does it end? Today, it's the Trump family. Tomorrow, it could be anyone daring to voice a divergent opinion. It's imperative that we collectively denounce and stand against any forms of intimidation or violence in political discourse. For the sake of our republic's future, we must bridge divides with words, not widen them with threats. It's time to restore sanity and respect to our national conversation.
Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.